My next car is a Honda Accord 3-liter V6. This was a 2007 car and a Bangalore car at that. Now, people in Bangalore, you would be lucky if you pick this car because you don't have to deal with all the government legalities that you see in Bangalore. It's a Karnataka registered car. Now, that's out of the way. What I have to mention why I picked this particular car is that 3-liter V6 engine. I think though it's a front wheel drive, that car I believe made about 220, 230 horsepower, if I'm not wrong. It sounded glorious. Like any Japanese, this one was definitely reliable. I've never seen a V6 fail terribly. Luckily or fortunately, I've had the chance of being in quite a few V6 Accords, which I've driven. A couple of my friends or their dads used to have this particular car back in the day. And it was a great car. It was a lovely car. And I think this could smoke any car in the segment back then. And if you should also remember, is that back then, the Accord outsold the Skoda Superbs during this period. You used to see so many Honda Accords on the road, and they were really cool looking cars. But fast forward to 2011-12, Honda Accord was out of the picture. So, what is your thought about this car?
Okay, so first off, we used to have one at home, the V6 Accord. We had the 2.4 as well, and we had this. And honestly, I don't remember too much about the car. I only remember the fact that it pulled like insane. And it gave worse gas mileage than probably any tractor would if you did like a cross country in it. It sounded good for
I'll
sure.
agree.
Yeah. But I feel like this was not it was perceived very differently of what Honda actually had planned for this car abroad. Abroad, this was like more of like a prestigious sedan to have. Like it was just a cool, like it was a flex, let's be honest, to have an Accord with a V6. And over here, people thought it was like a proper enthusiast car. They thought it was aimed to be like a sports car killer or something like that. And so they said like a lot of people I've heard say that the handling isn't up to the mark and stuff like that. But what you have to understand is it's supposed to be a comfortable sedan, not a sports car. Like you're not gonna slay any Boxsters in this. That's not the point of this car. One. And the second point being, I think this was the first car in India to implement that cutting off 2 cylinders when you're chilling.
I didn't know that this car had it really. It had cylinder deactivation back in 2006.
It had cylinder deactivation back then.
Wow, that is a fact I didn't know for sure. But I must definitely add to a point that a lot of people had complaints that this car was way too soft. It doesn't handle well. But like you said, I think this car was a great cruiser in the country. You could do great highway mileage. I've had a couple of friends who used to do Mumbai, Pune every single day in, day out, and they've always loved the car. And they almost like, I think one person I know currently, his first car back in the days was a Honda Accord, and now he drives an M5. He still remembers the Accord well. And gas mileage, I think Greta Thunberg would be very, very upset and fuming if she sees the figures that this car used to return. So yeah, I think.
So for me, this is perfect. I love the fact that we're pissing off Greta by driving this. Not the fact that I want to kill the earth or something like that, but petrol cars for the win. And the other thing, I wouldn't personally go for a V6 Accord because I don't think I would buy an automatic front wheel drive Honda as my first car. That's my take on it.
I think like you mentioned, that automatic gearbox in the Accord was definitely really boring. It wouldn't listen to you at all. Once you've gotten used to the DSGs, you can't imagine anything on this level. And like you said, I don't think the V6 came in a manual. I think the 2.4 came in a manual. Correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah. The 2.4 came in a manual, and the 3-liter only came in an auto.
And 2.4 drove. I mean, even 2.4 sounded pretty glorious. Even that was quite powerful for its day. I think 160 odd horsepower, if I'm not wrong, which is still pretty good back in 2006 and 7. So perfect. So yeah, I think that's about it. And we definitely I just want to mention the car that we found was for 1,95,000. I'm sure you can bargain it a little more, but a lot more. But so this is a great car. So that's it. I think we are on to
Also,
the next
I've
car.
been told the
Yeah.
no. One before we move on, I've been
Okay.
told that you can take these cars up. It's not that difficult to increase the power on these. Apparently, in Japan, they came with a different head, or there was some tuner which made like a different head for the engine, and it could
Okay.
easily go to like 300 horse with that new head and like I think changed internals and an exhaust.
Man, the Japanese are definitely crazy in building some wild things, like unexpectedly
Yeah.
wild things.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's see what.
Okay,
I'm
so
surprised on what your next car will be.
okay, so mine is now a 2003 Opel Vectra.
Good God Almighty. Move to the rhythm.
Droomt u ook van een auto waarin u elke situatie onder controle heeft?
Turn it up.
Wij bouwen uw auto. De nieuwe Opel Vectra. Standaard met Interactive Driving System.
Pap, zit je weer te dromen?
Just can't stop.
De nieuwe Opel Vectra.
Come on.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
this is again back in my territory. Done 1,25,000 kilometers, but it's a Bangalore car again, A registered, and it's a petrol manual. So it's not gonna do some stupid power figures. It's a regular engine. You're not gonna be able to tune it. I'll tell you now. But it's such a cool car. It looks like a Charger from the back. It has like, it's just a cool car. Like I've barely seen any of these around, honestly. And it's just, I've never seen one if I'm honest. I think it's so cool.
Talking about this car, like I think Vectra, when Opel got the Vectra back then, Opel was running with the Astra in India, and I think they were just coming up with the other car. I think it was called the Opel Corsa or something like that. And Vectra was pitched as a competition to Ford Mondeo, which also bombed at the market. But one thing what I remember with the Opel Vectra, this is after reading Parked in Bangalore's post about it, this car had a lot of electronic gremlins, which even Opel didn't know how to solve them in India. And apparently a lot of owners who picked this car up were so frustrated with the car that the car spent most of the time at the showroom or the service center than in their parking space. But I've heard that this car was supremely comfortable. I'm not sure about the engine. I remember it was about a 2200, 2400 cc. I think I have to look that up. Any ideas on what engine this car had?
So I just looked it up. It's a 2.2 liter 4-cylinder, making 148 PS and 203 Newton meters of torque. And it was a front wheel drive with a 5-speed manual as the only offering. But when I was looking that up, there's no one that has anything good to say about this car, sadly. Apparently, they got a stupid amount of bookings within the first 20 days of launching the car. But after that, no one wanted it after they drove it themselves. So the mileage was an issue again. And it was just to look cool. At the price point that I found one at, I think it's a cool car to have because, again, it would be pretty rare to own one. It'll have like an exclusive, quirky aspect to owning an Opel Vectra. People will definitely mistake it for a Charger. I can guarantee it. And it just looks, it's a cool thing. And so I found it for...
It's for 1,80,000.
Yeah. Okay, you can have all the nightmares in the world. You'll be able to fix it if you have a 5 lakh budget.
Absolutely. But I think there was also an interesting fact that I've heard about this car, that this was one of the first cars that had such a well thought of digital system, that you have in-car diagnostic system that this car had. But like I mentioned, this car had a ton of electronic gremlins. You had your dash light up like it's December 25th, it's a Christmassy Eve. But that was a lot I've heard about it. You got to know a lot more about this car. For sure, I'm sure like a lot of petrol heads in India, I won't say petrol heads, a lot of guys who are into American muscle might confuse themselves with the rare that, okay, what is this car? It looks like a Dodge. I would agree with that point.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe because it really motivates us to shoot more content, edit more videos, and just create more things for you guys to watch. And if you guys have any ideas related to what we should shoot next, or if you guys have any interesting car stories or something like that, feel free to reach out to us maybe through the comment section below, or even DM us on Instagram. So yeah, thank you.